Welcome to Teens Time. My name is Auntie Chichi. How are you doing? This is the show where you get to hear everything about teenagers, young adults, and also parents are not left out. We talk about everything from, stories that touch, stories that inspire, stories that educate, stories that entertain also, and do everything to help our teenagers become the best version of themselves. And believe me, today we're going to play catch up with someone that we interviewed almost 2 years ago on this show, and we wanted to show the progress and see how far he has come. You're going to enjoy this show, I can assure you. So I don't want you to touch that dial. We'll be right back. Sit tight. Thank you for sticking around. This is still Teens Time. My name is Auntie Chichi. Welcome back. So like I said, today's show is also different. So normally the way the show goes is I have teenagers on the set with me, and we talk about different things, or I do the show with them, interviewing the guests. But today I wanted to play catch up, and there's going to be a lot of conversation with my guests. So I told my teenagers to just sit about, take a back seat and watch us, and learn a two or thing from our guest today. My guest today is no other than Emeka Udofia. I got it. Yeah. Who has, he has become my brother. I adopted him from the first time I met him, and I have kept in touch with him. And I'm glad. I would say I'm proud of you. Thank you. I would say I'm very proud of you. Every time I speak with you, the strength in your voice shows me that you're a very special person. Because it will take so a bigger person to go through what you have gone through and still remain intact. Yeah. A lot of people would have become very bitter, very, maybe take it out on the society. But you are getting better by the day. Thank you so much. Thank you. And being an example, I believe, teenagers will watch this and they will also know that anybody can bounce back from anything, whatever the situation is. Yeah. Fantastic. Emeka, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Anytime I call you, you when I called you, I said, can we do a catch up? You said, why not? Just overnight. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I know you'll be wondering, what is it about with Emeka? So, almost 2 years ago, Emeka miraculously came out from prison. Yeah. After spending 21 years, almost going to 22 years in prison, sentenced to death by hanging. Yeah. Sentenced to death by hanging for what he knew nothing about. And unfortunately, he entered the prison as a teenager at the age of 16. Am I correct? Or 15? Yeah, 16. 16. He got into, can you just do a recap of your story? Yeah, actually, the story comes up like this. I was at the age of 16 when I was at my maternal home. So I was also called to work for a party. At that time I was just a small guy, but the tallness in me always look as if I'm mature. Older, yeah. So they invited me to work for them at the party ground. So a man came there to have some things from the INEC. So the INEC now told him that I am the one in position of that they are looking for. Then they came to me. I refused to give it to them. They came up with even a bribe. I said no. So after that, 3 days after the election, they now gave a police to come and arrest me and gave false accusations against me just to dump me into the prison, because I did not accept what they wanted from me. So actually I did not know things about politics because I was still a small guy. But out of what happened, I now came to realize that politics was a game of do or die, which I could have not gone into. Yeah. But I went in just for the sake of things to be good in the country. But I came to see that it was a deadly game. When they arrested me, they gave me false accusations of what I did not do. My sister came up and cried and said, no, my brother is not like this. They said my sister should be arrested also. They dumped my sister in the police cell for months.
after they released her and said she should go, she should keep her mouth silent from the matter. That is only me they want to deal with. So all along, they took me now to court. And then from the court, they reminded me to prison, which I have not been before. That was my first time. Going into the prison, I saw different lives. I saw different things. Actually, by then I was not close to God. I did not know anything about going to church. So inside the prison, I discovered I have to go to church because there was no helping hand for me to come out from there. Because
we were at awaiting trial, ATM, they called it, for 10 years.
Yeah, I was at awaiting trial. So out of I being there, I have to go close to God. And then at the final of the judgment, the judge that was trying the matter delayed this case for 10 years. So after he delayed this case for 10 years, at this final trial of the matter, he sentenced me to death. I cried and mobbed. People said I should relax my mind, that they are not going to kill me. I said, this man, he has mentioned that they should go and hang me. What are you people talking about?
By that time, you're 26 now.
Yeah.
10 years after.
Yeah. So he now sent me to Port Harcourt Death Row, maximum prison, Port Harcourt. So there I went and be there for more 10 good years again.
Wow.
After that 10 years, one of my brother now came up and said, no, I've been lingering there so much for something I don't know about. What is the problem? I tell him I don't have a lawyer. I don't have any helping hand. Any lawyer I call will say I should give him money. I don't have money.
Yeah.
I'm incarcerated. How can I make money? So he now said, okay, he will try. We now sold some properties outside, sold some things and add up money and gave to a lawyer, which moved the matter. And the lawyer, before he moved the matter, he said that in all the evidences, he's saying that I did nothing, that he will bring me out by the special grace of God. I said, okay. So by then, I myself in the Port Harcourt prison, I have been engaged into the church society by serving God and also drawing close to God, so that God, in anything man is doing on earth, God is the one that will say, okay, I will help him out.
Okay. I mean, Emeka, the story is, it's one that, for me, I think the interesting thing is a lot of people would have been back there and they will be angry with God, with man, with the country, with almost everything. But your own is different. You decided, I mean, my faith, the only thing I can do is to get closer to God. And result my faith into his hands. I think it's very interesting. I would want us to watch that interview 2020. When we come back, we'll continue. I will ask you some more questions.
Okay.
Don't touch that dial. He spent 22 years in jail. He went to jail at the age of 16.
Yeah, the native doctor bring out his calabash shrine and now start invoking his invocations. After the invocations, he now told them that he saw me not guilty, that his hand is off from this innocent blood. So he delayed the matter not until 2010.
10 years after.
10 years after. He finally decided to rule the matter. Not after about a month and 2 weeks. He now said, okay, that what he has to do, since others have brought 50,000 to the release, and I don't want to bring, he will take me to court.
Wow.
He now arranged a file and brought me out and put me in a station wagon. In that station wagon, I saw other 7 boys.
And you know them?
I don't know them. He sentenced me and 4 others to death. So, of a capital charge of armed robbery.
Welcome back. I hope you saw a snippet of the interview we had with him when he was just fresh out of the prison. I think it was that week that you came out from prison that we did that interview. So he was still trying to figure things out for himself. And Emeka, so let me find out, how has he been so far? This is almost 2 years. April is going to make it 2 years. How has it been?
So since I came out to the society, I came to see a lot of different things. things were not like this when I was outside here. So I came to see different world entirely. Both cars, both houses, both streets,
both computer,
both people.
both people from different.
I'm telling you. So I start wondering, at my age now, where will I start?
Wow.
Where will I get to stand up as a man? I did not marry before I went into the prison,
yeah.
and I'm now out, being an adult, seeing people with kids. You know, some of my friends they have gone far in life. So it makes me sometimes I stay indoors.
Wow.
But as a being, I say, no, I have to help myself by meeting one or two people to help me. Since the government have not helped me, nobody have come from anywhere to say, let me help you by either finance or raising me up. So I have to help myself by going to a brother and beg him to help me. Let me know how I can cope in life. So he now helped me by buying me this washing car machine.
Yeah.
That is where I'm just managing up.
He
now.
helped to set up the car wash.
Yeah, the car wash.
And you've been managing it.
Yeah, I've been managing it, using it to take care of myself just for now.
Yeah. Before now, you also mentioned, you told me, you know, that you were able to learn how to drive.
Yeah,
and you drove for a while.
Yeah, I also know how to drive, which I came out, I drive in a company, but the company was not doing well. You understand? So I have to leave and then look for my own private business that I can use to help myself. Because if I keep on driving the car, my mind does not rest.
Yeah.
There are things I see, my mind will just fly off. So I said, no, let me leave driving first. Exactly. Let me start a private business on the ground to help myself.
And
even as I'm talking now, I don't have my own living house.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just managing somewhere with somebody.
Wow.
Looking for a way to pay my house rent somewhere.
It's well. God will provide.
Yeah,
let me ask you this. You mentioned that when you are driving, your mind flies off. Do you think you have recovered from the trauma? I know, yes, God factor is playing hugely in your life. You are relying on God to be okay and all that. But do you think, you know, sometimes you remember the experiences that you went through, all the lies, all the betrayal and everything? Does it kind of affect you in one way or the other?
Actually, you know, when things comes up like this, I really imagine the past life and the present life today. The past life was not good comparing to the present life, because when I was in the prison, I was not good. But actually going on, saying things, getting close to God, the life was getting changing. So today I'm seeing a kind of having a good life in me by the life of the Christian life.
Okay.
This is another thing that brings man back to life. If you draw close to God, things will change in your life. Absolutely. So this is how it is to me. I'm just coming up. Okay. But I still need a helping hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a process. I mean, it took you almost 22 years there. Yeah. It can't take 2 years. Yeah. To just bounce back. No. It's going to, and I love the fact that you understand that this is a journey. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. You mentioned something, you know, you said when you were in prison, you were off and on, you know, engaging in some bad things. Let me ask this, because sometimes some of us have the notion that prison is not where anybody should be. Yeah. I also believe that prison does not rehabilitate anybody. Yeah. Yes, they call it correctional center now. I don't know if it's correcting the inmates there. What's your opinion about that?
Yeah, coming to the prison's life, why I say the life in prison sometimes are not good, because they are the places the officers does not reach. So the places the officers does not reach, you can go there and see some bad boys. Yes. You know, staying there, playing games, doing all sort of things, smoking and all those kind of a thing. So those kind of a life,
you can start imitating.
Yeah, you can start imitating. If you were not someone outside there that knew all those kind of things, you start imitating there. But in the other side of correction, it is when you are involved into a matter that will bring you to the office.
Wow.
They will now treat your matter and then discipline that person and then let you to know that this is not the life you should live.
Yes.
This is why this place is called Correction Center.
Fantastic.
They will now correct you for you to live the life you should live.
So it's only when you have something that brings you to them.
To the office, yeah.
And I remember, you said in the interview almost 2 years ago that because you were sentenced to death.
Yeah, I was sentenced to death.
There was no form of, correctional measures, given to you. There were no rehabilitational stuff, like, the skills training that happens and nothing, just because they are just waiting for pending until, your time of death comes. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, actually, because if you are sentenced to death, you people are dumped in a room. You don't have anything like workshop, working or anything. It is only the mere prisoners has workshop to go, like tailoring, carpentry, and other things. But a man on a death row, you are not made to move to anywhere. You are on chain.
Wow. So you were on chain all through?
All through, except you are called to the either record or to the welfare or to a visit. They will now lose the handcuff. But when you are coming back, they will handcuff you back and keep you so that you will not move around until the time of your death warrant comes. They move that person to the death row and then hang him up.
Wow. Emeka, I know I have not been, it will take a lot of us, a lot of time to even imagine what you are saying because we've not been there. My question, I know you've said this, you said God really sustained. When you started drawing close to God, you started having hope, your hope started coming alive. What else kept you to remain positive? What else, in the correctional center? What else, yes, God was involved. What else were the things, when you stay there in chains? I can't imagine that. I have, cold chills all over my body. When you remember, when you were there, what were the things that helped you to say everything will be okay?
Yeah, actually, I talk about drawing close to God. When I draw close to God, even when I did not draw close to God, I was imagining how are they going to kill me.
Child.
But in my hope was I did not commit this offense.
Wow.
And God in heaven knows that I did not commit this offense. And God says, whosoever trusts in him shall not go down.
I don't want to cry.
So when I went into believing in God, trusting in God, going to church, picking up the Bible, be reading my Bible every time, sometimes from Genesis to Revelation, I will read it. I took it as a job, educating myself, things about the Bible. I came to understand that one with God is one with majority. That even though the whole world are against you, if you are holding firm on God, the whole world are just like a son. It's stand before God. So that was the hope I have, that since I have God in me today, that I cannot die.
Absolutely.
I cannot go down, because one is that I did not commit the offense. Since I did not commit the offense, I would not that there are not people that did not commit offense and they went down.
People, yes.
They went down also. But my own, I gave my own assurance. I said, God, if you are in heaven and you have seen that I did not commit this offense, use this to tell the world that I did not commit this offense by saving me out. Not that I'm not a sinner. Not that I don't do things that are not ungodly. But for the sake of you being a truthful God, you say you always stand on truth. This is a true matter. That they are using money to suppress me, to hide the truth. Please bring out this truth to the world. Let the world see it. So these are the things that were giving me mind that since God is alive, I cannot go down.
Emeka, thank you. You are highly inspirational. I can't even hold myself. We'll go on a short break. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Okay.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Teens Time. My name is Auntie Chichi, and I don't know if if you have been following the conversation, but my guest today, it's someone I interviewed him with my teenagers almost 2 years ago in 2020 when he first came out from correctional center, where he's been there for almost 22 years. And he entered when he was just 16 years old as a teenager, and he spent the whole of his teen years, even going to adulthood, in prison, sentenced to death by hanging. And then miraculously, after 21 plus, God, with what he just said before we went on the short break, he believed God and he started drawing close to God. And those things were the things that sustained him. I'm struggling, but I need to conclude the show. So I'm gonna, help myself to. I'm struggling. I'm too emotional. Not that I've not heard this, but I know. I mean, that maybe that's why the Bible says that God will not allow us go through what we cannot handle. Obviously, you could handle it.
Amen.
You could handle it,
Yeah.
and he has so much faith in you. And you being here talking to teenagers, talking to parents, to do things differently. I think that God knew that you were able. He could trust you enough to go through what you have gone through. Like I said, Teens Time is all about inspiring our teenagers. Motivating us to do the right thing, to be better. He didn't say, like you mentioned, you were not righteous. You were not the most righteous. You were doing. There were things. I remember that past that time, you were doing some bad things. You were following bad gang, and that was what got you into this. If I'm correct, it was the company you kept that brought this to you. Yes, it was part of going for election and stuff like that, but because of the company that you kept at 16 that brought you, but thank God that you're out. Let me ask you this: what advice are you giving to teenagers? Because this is a teens show. Yes, a lot of things has happened, but what advice do you think your story? I know you have told me that you want the story to be put into a movie, and we are going to do that by God's grace. Okay. So, but what advice are you giving to teenagers?
Today, my advice to teenagers, even as I'm out here now, I also see teenagers going wrong. I correct them. Is by they should be listening to advice from parents, mostly from your father and your mother. God knows why He gave you these people. Before He brought you to life, He first of all brought your mother and your father. So I don't think your mother and your father can lead you wrong.
Absolutely. They
must lead you right. So you will always take advice from parents and from also elders.
Absolutely.
You don't let elders down either by not greeting them, or you see this elder to be your enemy or this and that. No. When an elder calls you and advises you, pick it up. He sees a wrong thing going before it advises you. He may say, stop following this gang. Or he may say, stop following this way. You stop it. That will bring a good revelation to yourself. Because once you do what the elder says, you will see the positive type of it.
Absolutely.
It will not lead you to the wrong side. But I know there are elders also that lead children to the wrong side too.
True.
At your own time, you could know what is good and what is bad.
Absolutely.
So one cannot say put your hand on fire and you put your hand on fire. No, you resist, because there are elders also that corrupt children.
True.
So what I can actually say to teenagers is pay heed to your parents' advice, and pay heed also to your relatives, better ones.
Yes.
Take their advice. Mostly your teacher in school, take their advice, and also make sure you join class. Not when others are in class, you move around, walking on the street, going from here and there. That will not move a better education to your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
It may break you down. When others are falling ahead, you are being dumped.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. What advice do you have for parents?
Yeah, for parents is parents. If the parents are most harsh to children, it may drive your children out from the home. So you take them as your children. Do them to know that this thing is wrong, but not by scaring them out from you or giving them a kind of hand that will make them to go and live on the street.
True.
Because some of them at the street has better home.
True.
But it is the hand of the parents make them to go and live on the street.
Very true.
So parents, the advice I have to parents is when you are dealing with your children, take it a bit cool to know that these people
do
are
it in
kids.
love. Do it in love.
Do it in love.
Absolutely.
Show them that kindness. Show them that they are your children.
Absolutely.
Not showing them a kind of treating them like animals. They will escape from you.
Absolutely.
When they see that the mother of Ndubisi is not treating Ndubisi like that, they will escape from you.
True.
So that is the advice I have for parents. Thank you.
Until I come your way next time, my name is Auntie Chichi. Teenagers, do the right thing. Don't get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Parents, love your children, correct them in love, and they will not run away or find other people who will lead them astray. I love you. Take care. Bye.
God bless you.